Very quietly, in the month of August, Google announced a change to its search engine algorithm, unhelpfully calling it the Helpful Content Update. But what does this mean for businesses who rely on Google to generate inbound leads every day? And what changes do you need to make sure that you continue to rank? Or better yet, that you take advantage of these changes to rank even higher than before? The Google search algorithm is essentially the technology that Google uses to decide whether your content belongs on page 1 or page 100. And when we talk about crawling your website, it's how Google's algorithm goes through and indexes, or essentially reads, every page on your website and then determines where each page on your website should rank and for what keywords. So what are these changes and what do they mean for you? Well, first and foremost, Google's been talking about mobile first for years. Well, finally, mobile first is here. Google will actually crawl your website as if it's looking at your website from a mobile phone. What this means is, if your website is too slow, it gets thrown to the side and doesn't rank. If your website doesn't conform with mobile standards, your website could either fail to rank or be pushed down below those that do. The second massive change is a focus on the content itself. Now, for the longest time, companies were able to rank on Google by looking at keyword density. They were able to write 500-word articles, maybe even shorter, and make sure that the keyword density was high, the keyword appeared in all the right places, and they got enough backlinks. Simple. Now, it's a bit more complicated. So now, Google is focusing on what it calls high quality or helpful content. This means longer form content that's written with a specific reader in mind, answering that specific reader's question in more detail. Put simply, it means articles that are more like Gartner quality articles and less like one paragraph descriptions stuffed with keywords. The results are starting to trickle in, and we're hearing from businesses who've been hit with this in a negative way and a positive way. Those that engage in keyword stuffing and short form content and all the tips and tricks to try to get their websites to rank are seeing their websites' performance go down massively. Those that have been writing interesting, long-form, great content all along are seeing their websites go up. So there's been a bit of a reshuffle and a bit of a reckoning. Now, this is an advantage for smaller companies who can knock off the bigger companies who'd spent fortunes with SEO agencies to drive up their ranking with formulaic content. Now, if you're able to make sure your website is mobile first, and you're able to make sure you have all the technical framework necessary to rank, and you write high quality content with your target buyer in mind, targeting the right keywords, you can rank, and you can knock some of those former big players off of the #1 spot. If you're curious if this affects you and your company, we're offering free audits right now. Simply click on the link and ask for an audit of your website to see whether your website's impacted by the Google algorithm changes.